Chapter 3 Spanning the World Cross-Cultural Constructions of Gender. Biological models of gender differences often rely on a Western ideal, ignoring cross-cultural variations of gender differences. Anthropologists such as Margaret Mead, who posited that gender expectations in other cultures differed from the Western model, challenged this myth. Although differences are not universal, from an anthropological perspective, analyses of gender have identified two common constructions across cultures. Men and women are differentiated and often segregated, as in the labor force, but this division is different for each culture. The other common construction is male domination, which was commonly determined by cultural traditions, although the myth of biological determinism was used as an explanation for these traditions. There are varied explanations for this persisting domination, in particular in the labor force, including Marx and Engels' discussion of surplus or the relation of men and women with children. Across cultures, higher status for women was determined by several factors, including access to child care, child's relationship and time spent with the father, greater control of resources, and property ownership. Segregation of men and women, in contrast, increased inequality, which included a greater likelihood of violence, rape against women that is used to maintain gender inequality and ultimately male power. Rituals offer a slightly different understanding of gender inequality because they are often symbols of gender inequity. Circumcision rituals for both males and females tend to occur in societies in which men have more power because they promote notions of difference and segregation that promote inequality. Other rituals, such as kuvod, males experiencing symbolic pregnancy, and purdah, hiding oneself, control women. An important issue in the cross-cultural discussion is the existence of multiple genders in other societies. Not only do other genders challenge the existence of a biological dichotomy, but also the hierarchy of gender for the other genders is often not marginalized in the societies in which they exist. As well, sexuality was not always explicitly linked to the other genders. In fact, although homosexuality is common among both humans and non-humans, it is the social response to homosexuality that differs across cultures, with some accepting it as a standard practice. In conjunction with this idea, heterosexual sexual practices also differ across cultures in acceptability, timing, place, and the roles of the partners. Ultimately, with so much variation of gender, gender divisions, and sexuality cross-culturally, questions are raised about the present theoretical explanations of male dominance. Still, even with the pervasive social dominance of men, the experiences within each culture can be best understood through cultural relativism. This is a very interesting chapter. Through careful reading and study you should learn 5 main things. 1. To understand some of Margaret Mead's studies about gender difference and the significance of her findings. 2. To be able to identify the functionalist theory of labor and gender difference. 3. To be able to name cross-cultural evidence that male domination, sex-based division of labor, and particular forms of gender differentiation are not biologically inevitable. 4. To be able to name some of the hallmark factors associated with societies that feature gender inequality and male domination. 5. To understand the cross-cultural evidence that may change the way we consider issues such as rape, male and female circumcision, binary gender, and homosexuality.